Adaptability is so key in racing, whether it be real life or virtual, and the ability to be fast and on the limit of the car with basically limited practice, limited to no practice, is absolutely crucial. Today, I'm going to teach you and talk you through about how I learn a new car and new track combination as fast as possible. So I'm going to challenge myself with 3 laps around Qatar in this brand new F123 model here on Assetto Corsa. The first thing I do is come to the end of the pit lane and start the car and do a practice start. It's Formula 1 car, so around 50% on the throttle, and release the clutch slowly. 1, that gives me rear tire temperature. 2, that also helps me to understand the traction capabilities of the car initially and gives me a good progress forward. Of course, it's the Formula 1 car, so I'm quite familiar with these starter cars, so it's going to be easier for me to adjust to this, let's say, than a GT car, for example. But still, it's going to be challenging learning this car straight off the bat, knowing that I have a 3-lap time limit to be able to get this done. Qatar is a track that I've not driven before. I've only seen it on the broadcast here on Formula 1 back in 2021. As you can see, as I ran completely off the track. So yeah, it's not a track that I know. It's not a car that I know. So I'm going to be talking you through a 3-lap process and a 3-lap step-by-step guide on how I'm going to be able to learn this car and track as fast as possible to hopefully be on the limit of the car and the track, or to be fairly close to the limit of the car and the track within 3 laps here today, and talking you through how I can do that. The first part is memorization of the track. I know parts of the track from watching the broadcast of Formula 1 back in 2021, but then since then, I haven't really watched any onboards, I haven't really been familiar with the track, I haven't watched any races apart from Formula 1 here. But again, I do have a slight memory of roughly where the track will go. So I know this is the final corner, for example, and I know the first corner is a long flowing corner into a left-hander. That's of course going to help me and assist me in this challenge. It's important to make sure the car and the tyres are warmed up on your first flying lap to make sure that you have a good stable base of grip to learn from. So turn 1, I know it's a long corner, so going to brake around the 50 meter board. I can see I probably went a little bit wide there, but for the first time it wasn't that bad. I know this is again a long apex, critical to be on the power. Probably could have got on the power a little bit harder there, but you know what, for the first time learning, that wasn't too bad. I know this corner is quite tight. You can see a bit underneath the limit, and this corner is quite tight as well, or much tighter than I actually anticipated it to be into this left-hander. What I actually went off the track on last time, because it is quite deceiving, really. Again, going a bit wide there. I know that this is quite a wide apex as well. Using the mini-map on the top left-hand side of the screen as well to help assist me on when I need to be turning, on how much the corner has the angle and how deep of a corner it can be as well. I know that we're about halfway into the lap now from watching Formula 1, and this was the fastest section of the track, so I think this is going to be a lift. Don't use the exit curves. The curves are quite brutal here and will cause the car to bottom out. Down 1 more gear. Lovely. And now we're into the second to last part of the lap. So this was my second lap actually, gathering the data, looking at braking marker boards and turning. Now I've got in my mind a mental image of what the car is going to do with the grip, where the track is going. So using the information that I have gained already from watching Formula 1 broadcasts, the first 2 laps I've done, the out lap, the first flying lap, now I'm going to put together a hot lap here for you together for today, I should say. Turn 1, 50 meter board, down into 4th gear, looking for a bit of a late apex, smooth on the power, bring the car over to right hand side, keep it in 5th gear, again long apex, early on the power, use up all the road, easily flat out for the right hander, don't use the exit curve, as last lap it bottomed out the car, 50 meter board, down into 4th gear, remember it goes tighter on the exit than you anticipate, here's much tighter than I anticipated last lap, avoid too much of the curve, I'm going to go down to 3rd gear to help that engine braking rotate me. Oh, wow, the curve didn't really help me on the exit, but still was a good apex. Looking for that late apex here because it's quite a long corner onto a fairly decent straight. This seemed like flat out, and I remember Lewis taking it flat out, but it's key to get over to the right-hand side. Down to 4th gear. I'm not going to touch that exit curve because historically in this lap so far, or in this track so far, taking the curbs has not been beneficial that much. Small lift. Oh, almost went wide. Flat out. I think down 1 gear. Lovely. I think I'm going to take this in 5th gear. It's high speed. Smooth on the power. Don't use up too much road on the exit. Up into 7th gear. Brake just after the 100 meter board. Down to the 4th gear. Looking for a good exit onto the straight. As naturally, it's quite a long straight. We're 6 seconds up on the delta, but of course we slowed down on the final part of the lap. So that's 3 laps here today on how I learned the track. I'm going to do a 4th lap to try and put a hot lap here together. For you really focusing on this one. Nice through there. Try to be a bit more committed. Avoid the curb, I think. Like I didn't do last lap. Yeah, much better exit. Looking for more speed in, later apex. Nicely done. Flat out, bring the car over to the right hand side. Right, don't run wide on this apex this time. Bit better. Lost a 10th there, but that's okay. A bit wide on the final corner. We got a bit greedy. But to be honest, it only cost us a 10th. There's 2 temps in there. Right, we're going to go find it. I know we said this was 3 laps, but we're going to push up to 5 laps here today. Into the 27s now. Let's see what we can do. Tyres are degrading, of course. Putting together all our knowledge of the car and the tracks, and you can see me gaining confidence with every corner. Oh, 2 temps down. The tyres are degrading quite fast. Bit wide, but the apex was good, so we didn't really lose anything compared to the delta anyway. This can be better. We'll try and keep it in 7th gear to keep the car more stable. That was nice. Ah, no, got too greedy. That won't count. Right, you can see the tyres are degrading now quite a lot on the bottom left. So that was my 5th lap here today. 28.0, so staying fairly consistent though. Showing the rate of learning that we can do. So there we go. 3, what turned into like 4 or 5 laps here on Qatar. But learning the car, learning the track, and talking you through, and I think you could see where I was gaining confidence learning with the car. So if I had to summarize it down into 3 critical points of learning, it's 1, look at the meter boards. 2, try to familiarize yourself with the track and associate gears with corners. For example, turn 1, I knew was a 4th gear corner, and that meant I knew I had to brake around 50, 60, at earliest 70 meters into the corner. If I was slowing down into a 2nd gear corner, I know more than likely I need to be braking at about 100 meters. This goes as well for a 6th or 7th gear corner. If you're that high on a gear, you're probably only doing a lift, if not a dab of the brake. So associating a gear with a corner can help you learn quicker and bring up your minimum apex speed to a higher level as fast as possible. Point 3, if I have to summarize it all together into one small package, I would say you have to sort of look at the sectors and look at real life examples as well. If you know that you're limited for time, don't be afraid of looking at some hot laps on YouTube, some real life laps as well, because that can really help you associate with the track and the car that you might be driving for your desired race. Don't be afraid to learn from other people is the summary of my point there. So like I say, point 1, look at marker boards. Point 2, associate gears with corners. And point 3, never be afraid to learn from other people. I do it all the time. I learn from every driver I possibly can by watching their hot lap on board or listening how they talk about driving. So I really hope this video has been a help to you, and I really hope you enjoy this style of content about teaching you on how to become a better sim racing driver yourself from my own experiences. So I've been Brendon Leigh. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, if I can get my words out in one go. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.